Hi, my name is Dana Drogan. I am a fourth year from Long Island, New York. I joined the WASH with Mary in fall of 2019, first year, first semester, and I am a poetry writing major.
Hi everyone, I'm Holly Serms. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a fourth year studying environmental science. I joined the WASH twice in spring 20 and fall 20 because they were both online. I have been a Purvey chair 2 times in a row, much better the first time if anybody ever asks. And my fun fact is that I have ridden Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's horse.
Howdy y'all, my name's Grady. I'm a senior. I've double majored in philosophy and political and social thought. I joined the WASH spring my first year, so it's been 7 semesters in the WASH. I regret all of them. And a fun fact, I was banned from my high school library.
Hey, my name is Spomay Anwar. I'm a fourth year. I use she, her pronouns. I'm a foreign affairs major, minoring in sociology. I'm the current treasurer of the WASH, fondly known as Spill Money. And my fun fact is that my name means the full moon, and it's become my whole personality.
Hello, I'm Mary. I also joined in fall 2019, as previously mentioned. I'm from Arlington, Virginia. I'm a fourth year. I'm a double major in PPL and WGS.
Hi, my name's Cece Kane. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a fourth year, evidently. My major is government. I joined the WASH my first year, first semester, fall of 2019. And my fun fact is that actually this whole row of people is WASH Studco crossovers, and I recruited like half the WASH to Studco. That's my fun fact.
Hey, my name is James. Also a fourth year. Joined the WASH in fall of 2019, so that's 8 semesters. I'm a religious studies major from Harrisonburg, Virginia. Fun fact is, I don't know. There's nothing fun about me.
Fun fact is he got his nipples pierced after losing a debate in the WASH. I was pretty lonely. I was lonely.
I don't know, man. I showed up to signing of the roll, and Eric was talking about, I think it was like the Sperry factory in Ruckersville and the Ruckers factory in Sperryville, Virginia, and I think I was hooked. So yeah, here I am, 4 years later, and a whole lot smarter. Thank you.
Really what made me join the WASH was a soda party. We met up at O Hill for the walking group. I ended up talking to Cece and Dana on the way over, and we just never stopped talking.
Someone who defined my early time in the WASH was Alex Sanchez. He was my big over COVID, and that was a really isolating time for me. I was a resident advisor, so I rarely left my dorm. Lived in a room by myself that was tiny, did online classes all day. But Alex Sanchez invited all of his littles over that semester to watch the online meetings on his TV with him, and it still felt safe, it still felt like a responsible activity, but it was just something to look forward to, that I could leave the building for a couple hours on a Thursday night and still feel a little bit like I was actually in college.
Definitely really early time in the WASH, especially through 2020. I'd say Paige DePiro, being double president both semesters, especially those 2 particular semesters, pretty rough. And I felt lucky to not only work with Paige, but also be her friend. And then, yeah, Grady and I started dating at Chapel, spring 2021. And yeah, it's probably the WASH I've spent the most time with since. Oh, and Cece and James and Dana.
So my first one is Alex Sanchez, because he's my big. He was a treasurer right before me, so he kind of held my hand through that whole year and that transition. Alex is also just an icon. You can't argue that. So another one of the people who defined my experience is definitely Paige DePiro. Paige instilled a lot of confidence in me as a person and as a speaker. And I definitely like see her as someone who mentored me in the wash. And I also just really appreciated how seriously she took it. Dana Drogan, Mary Withacombe, and James Henderson, shout out to the second row icons. I love them, and they were definitely like my besties in the wash, and I've done like debates with them. I lived with Dana and Mary, and I honestly couldn't imagine like my wash or my UVA time without them.
For me, I would probably say my big Ubby, just because every meeting he'd kind of just take me under his wing and I would hang out with him and his friends, and it was kind of like where I started finding like all my friends within the wash, and it was nice to like always look forward to that every week. But also Matt, just when he was present last semester, like there were a lot of like little hurdles along the way, and like Matt was definitely someone who like held my hand and taught me about a lot of the stuff in the wash and like behind the scenes, and then also like how to handle when all these different things arise, and he definitely taught me a lot that like I definitely like treasure.
Also, Ruth Albert, who really encouraged me to do a lot as secretary. My big James, and obviously every other washie who I've ever met. You all are amazing. And Ben Wiggins.
There's a lot of certified wash classics in there. We got black and yellow resolved. Yeah, you know what it is.
Anything that sounds vaguely like a 2005 hip-hop song, definitely James Resolution.
Debated where we're going. We don't need roads. Debated Virginia is for lovers.
Your first time is always your worst. Well, it's my favorite debate because I think it was hilarious. It presented me with the perfect opportunity to exploit the bladder problem that I have, and the wash ate it up. So thank you guys.
Anyway, my favorite presentation was one of my minutes I gave as secretary. I think the best speech I've ever given about me being in church and eating the coins from the collection basket.
I think one of the ones I saw debated was the debate. It was a humorous debate, but in the style of a serious debate, and it was about Harry Potter versus Twilight.
Resolved, Twilight is a better work of fiction than Harry Potter. It was a serious format debate, but it was humorous content, so I got to do cross-ex with Brady Martin, and it was heinous. I loved it.
I'm a big fan of intellectual conversations and discovering more about myself through a dialectic process.
My favorite part about the wash is getting hissed at every meeting, because I am one of two people who get to brag that happens.
I love that it's like this very dynamic balance between just like some of the most out-of-pocket shit I've seen in my life and like people taking like real world topics really seriously and researching them really deeply, and understanding the importance and the impact of the things that we're debating. For example, Mary participated in an inter-society debate about COVID like literally a week before we went into lockdown. And so I like that it's a place, because I think that like there are both of those things in me as a person, and in a lot of us in the wash. So I like that there's a place that I can explore like very different parts of my personality and feel safe doing either one.
Regardless of what happens, like it's still kind of remain this close-knit community where people truly feel like they can be authentic, and whatever that looks like in any given Pro V class or for any given person in the wash, I think that that's really special. And I also like that it's remained a place where people like to like get a little silly and drunk.
My favorite part about the wash is how engaged people are with whatever the content is that's presented, because there's been a lot of debates on shit I do not care about, but I love watching debates on it, and I love hearing lits on it, and I love hearing people's floor speeches about it, and I get scared sometimes that I'm going to debate a topic that's not going to be interesting enough, but every debate I've ever done, there have been floor speeches that have brought something to the table or something to the discussion afterward, and I'm so appreciative for people listening when we take time to prepare things.
I'll go with the really good friends I've also made in the wash, and also good old-fashioned debate. It's a great place. In fall 2020, we'd had an entirely virtual semester. We decided, since no one knew anything about COVID, but the research became more clear over the semester that being outside was okay, ish. So we ended up hosting a partially in-person Indux that fall. And it was really fun. I think since then, we had been doing all of our officer stuff from inside our apartment. So it was really rewarding to actually like see the people we were inducting, enjoy that experience, and fully have that pay off.
You picked a good one, and I think I'll second yours because I think you're right. After like a really long semester, 3 elected officers living in the same COVID pod apartment, like the wash talk was, it was. I mean, it was great, except for when it wasn't, and I would say it was very stressful. Yeah, and just like every little piece of planning was done like around our dining room table, and it was just like a brutal.
All of the stress of the semester.
All of the stress of the semester. So yeah, like we get to this like inductions moment, and I remember texting my therapist, "Hey, I can't do therapy tonight. I've got wash and ducts." and she knew what that meant, and the ladies rolled out. And on it, yeah, you're right. Like there was just this moment of like, you know what? I don't know if this is the best thing to be doing. I don't know if this is the perfect thing to be doing, but there was so much joy and so much satisfaction that night. I was really nervous that everyone had gone home because we had been like, stick around, we're gonna take a big group picture. Like we want to see everyone together, like masks up, and like we're gonna like have a little moment of togetherness at the end of all of this like genuine chaos. So we go and like we look and we can't see anyone waiting on the lawn until we like come over like the last step of the lawn, and we see like the entire Pro V class just having like an absolute banger of a time on the steps of the rotunda, and we just like all look at each other and we were like, we did it! They like each other! They're in the club! They're talking for the first, because like this is like the first time a lot of people had met each other, like much less like done a wash event. Like people didn't know each other. So it was just this great moment, and like everyone cheered as like the officers like came up. We took so many pictures. It was really fun, and like it was just this like genuine moment of like all of this work paid off, and thank God it won't quite be this bad next semester. Which was it? You tell me.
The orgies were always nice. I remember, this is my first semester in the wash when I was a Pro V. I met my Big at Big Little Reveal.
The guy stinks.
Yeah, that guy fucking sucks. Anyways, he shows up with this plastic bag full of grape Four Loko and gives it to me as my Pro V gift. And I've been hooked on Four Loko ever since. I love you, James.
Yeah, so my least favorite memory in the wash was when I showed up and I got this jackass as my little, and all I had was some grape Four Loko in my back pocket, so I had to scrounge what I had and make something work. My favorite wash party memory, though, is when CC Kane showed up to inductions party, and the theme was transportation. She decided it would be a phenomenal idea to be a taxi, right? Because that's a great form of transportation. Problem is, she did her makeup in the mirror. So when she showed up to Dana's dorm room, where me and her were pre-gaming, knock, 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 knock. Open up the door, and she's got IXAT written on her forehead. It went downhill from there. That was a fun night.
I just want to say, CC Kane is our student council president. She is our best and brightest. We love you, CC.
My biggest piece of advice is whatever you decide that like you want to do in the wash, like be true to that, like enjoy it to the fullest. The wash is a club that we take really seriously because we love it so much and because we care about it being around for people in the future and being something that like continues to thrive at UVA for a long time after we're gone. But at the same time, it's not that serious, and you'll get so much out of it whatever level you remain involved with it at, and at the end of the day, like it's there for you, and it's there for you to have a good time and to grow and to find yourself and do all of that cringy college stuff. But genuinely, like I think it's done that for a lot of us who are graduating, and I know that we all care about it doing that for people in the future. So roll with it.
know that you can join things to enjoy them and you don't have to run them. I think it's easy, especially when you're kind of searching for your place after your Pro-V, like that's kind of its own schedule and thing, to feel like you have to like get super involved and run things, which is really great, and you should get involved to an extent because it's also part of the fun. But you can enjoy it still, and I think a lot of washies especially maybe get some burnout after they join and do a ton of things and then don't continue for all 4 years. But even if it's like having a low-key presence, I feel like more people should come just for the fun parts of the wash.
Yeah, I would say not take it too seriously. Being an officer is cool, but I think my best moments in the wash have been when, I don't know, being pretty drunk, making bets about nipples, that kind of thing. It's the best part.